Man, what's up? I almost really passed the TraderFi eval, not an eval, the profit. I almost captured the profit, which is basically passing the eval in my opinion because you have to make a X amount to actually be able to use the money that is given, just like you would in the eval. I almost did it in one day, and I really would have been able to exceed expectations if I was just awake to what I'm like usually doing with myself, what I practice. It's kind of frustrating. I'm gonna go over the day. It wasn't bad. I give it a solid 6 out of 10. Not happy, just a little bit more in the middle of myself. I guess I could say content, but even then, it's like, come on, Joe, you're better than that, which is hard to be happy with. Decent at best, which is also a little bit better than okay, so maybe a little bit less than decent. Just because there was two main things that I have to be okay with, have to understand, and have to say yes, you're right over with. When it comes to what I've practiced, what I've taught myself, and trading it in its own. So we started off with this gap, right? The market opened up with this gap, beautiful gap, and this beautiful breaker. I knew it had to get balance respected, so I didn't play with Sydney up until Tokyo came in because I just didn't see a need for entering in on this bullish continuation. It was cool, good watch. A little bit disappointed that I didn't, just because I knew that the fair value gaps were ran through. You got this 5:15 that touches this 5 p.m. And then again the 6 and 6:15 that touches the 5:15 and the 5 p.m. that then continues bullish continuation, which was an easy opener for me if I was prepared to put what I have, being the TraderFi account, to risk. It was my first day using the TraderFi account, so I was very cautious over what I was playing with, just because I didn't want to be imminent over what I was trading. I'd rather stick with myself, stick with what I see, and say, yes, this is perfect. We hit a higher high, an all-time high, new all-time high, around 7:30, and then I put my fair value in. This is where it gets good to me because of how patient I was. I put a fair value bar in, being the parallel channel. It touches this higher high. We get a head, shoulder, and a shoulder. Now, this divergence definitely did tell me, this 3-point trend line definitely did tell me that we were going to go and gather support, finally fulfill this gap that was opened up with. The whole Sydney session, or the whole from 5 to 7, I was expecting and telling myself, it's going to go high, but it has to come back down and get the gap. That's just natural law of the market. So I was sitting, waiting for the reversal. We had this divergence, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a continuous bottom, 1, 2, and then boom. I wouldn't enter in, even though I did have this potential and this potential, up until I saw acceptance of this fair value. I could have been really aggressive, but like I've said, very cautious, very relaxed when it comes to my first time using the TraderFi account. I think after I take a couple payouts from it and I'm okay with where I'm at, I'll go ahead and just play really aggressive and use what I know to my advantage, and really move the way that I would expect myself to move, especially when I've practiced with an account that I can't take profit out of. Kind of like a demo account, though I am building a. I'll show you actually. Hold on! I want to see some swag? This some Milwaukee shit. I got the bus on. Look at me. How I feel. How you feel? Now I walk around the pool with the laptop and I got the market open, right? And your lady's sitting right there and I got these bucks on. I look real quick. I just go like that. Do you think she's yours still? I take my child. I would take my child right back to the hotel and stay away from me forever. We have this fair value. Oh yeah. This is the account that I'm sitting with. I'm not allowing myself to trade with it, other than USD JPY, just because I know that dollar is very continuous and very zigzag like, because the dollar is not going nowhere. No matter what happens, we are made to stay as the base level. Right now the dollar is sitting at 156.14, which is annoyingly cool to see, It could drop down to 149 and continue its consolidation from 149 to 151. It's done that before. I would be happy with it, but I also would be very annoyed because I don't have enough entered in. I'm just patient with the 3 entrances that I have, letting them do their thing. I'm floating at 9,000 with an entrance sitting at the beginning of our bullish market. The best time to start a prop firm, in my opinion, is the beginning of quarter 2, because we know that the bullish push comes right after that bearish continuation and the consolidation of quarter 4-1. So 1, 2, 2, 3 are going to be the best times to go ahead and have a bullish mindset and bias. Best time to get a prop firm because we know where the market should be going. Now, again, acceptance. That's the main thing. It runs right through this fair value, leaving us displacement, drops all the way down. And like I said, I'm prepared the whole time, and I'm sitting with my entrance, only 10 contracts, because I know that it's going to go get this gap. Now, this inverse head and shoulders should have been exited out of a lot longer. I was expecting it to drop further into the gap, though it didn't, which almost ruined me, but I definitely did keep calm, and I was able to exit out thanks to somebody actually being there. I did check up on a quick TikTok live just to prove myself wrong, but I could have also saw, like I said, this inverse head and shoulder, and that could have been another reason for me to pull out. It did drop to this 0.5, which was also something that I was looking at. I was expecting it to go down to the 786 just because I wanted this perfect trend line to keep its bullish bias and bullish push throughout the market, but 0.5 is where it fell to. My exit was about here, giving me accumulating me about $5,000. I did not enter in until this fair value after it broke from this, which was a buy limit. I saw it break, it came right back down and touched me. Actually, no, maybe it's not this one. I saw a breaker get out of our fair value. It came back down and touched my fair value. I would say this one just to play it smart, safe with myself. Maybe this one right here. This breaker gave me acceptance. I put a buy limit. I should have just been aggressive, like I said, but I'm very, very relaxed and not lackadaisical, but I can also say fearful in a way, because I love to see myself win. I don't want to push too hard, especially when the market is moving the way it's moving. A couple of days ago, you had 4 hours, the 4-hour time frame being extremely wicky, not giving us a complete direction, just going up and down, but not necessarily the way you would want to. Like, these are not really aggressive times. You wait for it to touch its low, you get out once it gets to its inverse or higher. Again, it touches its low support, you get out once it touches its inverse or higher. So, like I said, for some reason I just wasn't feeling being extremely aggressive, because it could get to this inverse, come right back down, gather more support, then come and take this high, just like it did here and here. I entered in after this acceptance with a buy limit. It comes, touches me in, I fall out of profit, then back into profit, and I for some reason was taken out a little bit earlier, which got me a second entrance around here. Like I said, too aggressive but not aggressive enough. I wish I had partials in and I was able to just sit, since this support is what it is. This is where I am sitting with myself and being disappointed. Usually I am expecting to see 6, 7, 8 all work together, giving a handoff to just continuous divergence. It didn't. We had 6 and 7 give us highs, almost come and touch and run through this support or this high resistance, which is what I was expecting it to do, but it didn't. It came, it fell right back down to its divergence, attempted to go higher, could not break this high. Should have been my exit after I saw this breaker. Instead, I sat with it. I put the Fibonacci in and I let it just get tested, making me break even. We had a touch of the 0.5, again a touch of the 0.5, and then a strong breaker giving acceptance to a bearish push to gather more support. After that, I was very angry with myself because, bro, like I've said, you've practiced this for months. You should be able to just react the way you should react. As soon as you see this high get an attempt of a sweep, which you could say swept just because it comes and touches. As soon as you see this Fibonacci get a 0.5 touch, just get out. You ruined my profit. We got to break even. You didn't give me my payout in a day. I'm done with you for now. It fell right back down, break even. It comes in touch of support. Now I could have stayed awake and used my job the right way, especially after this long breaker. I should have exited, got the support. But like I said, frustration is easy to push a man's mind the wrong direction, especially when they're tired. I was up for very long, not really sleeping because I really want to be a part of all 4 sessions. So I let myself go to sleep, go away from it, and it disallowed me from completing my challenge, which was passing and being able to take profit in the first day of me actually trading. I'm $2,000 off. I know I'll be able to get it on a Monday. It shouldn't be hard. It should be pretty typical. I can honestly look at what is going on now and say this is probably what will happen. We still haven't completely ran to this high, so we'll probably see Sydney either give us a gap with a low to then go get the gap fulfilled and then go take highs coming up to these ranges like I was expecting, or give us a gap to high, having to come back down, gather support again, either to this lower or this inverse to then go back and take highs. So I'm prepared regardless. I'm expecting a lot of it myself. Right now, we're seeing a rectangle form itself in this fair value, not really pushing past its highs and looking like it has a hard time. It's having a hard time gathering enough to go back up and get these highs. Though we have no idea what happens over the weekend, I can definitely see it giving us a gap down to lows and then having to go get the gap to go back up to highs. It would be the best case scenario for me, which is what I would really want. Of course, it's the best case scenario, but I prepare myself for anything regardless. This rectangle is coming in from a bullish push, so you could see an acceptance go back up and get the highs, but it is almost the end of the market. We do have 2 hours left, and the 4 hour isn't necessarily that strong. So like I said, the gap to lows should be the way to go, just so we get the beginning of May having another bullish push. Also, the president brought the King of London here, which is also why I was genuinely expecting London and New York to hand off a stronger bullish push to take highs to then come back down, inverse, gather support, and then finish the day off with the inverse being where we stopped, and then a gap going up top above highs to then come back down and then go back higher. Just made sense to me while I was watching over the market. But your bias is your bias is something you should always keep in the back pocket. Keep your mind screwed with one screw saying this is mine, one screw saying this is theirs. You do not get to control the market. You get to work and flow with the market. The word I'm looking for is something that you are granted. You are allowed to do it. Take it as a blessing, use the miracle, and be better. Simple as that. I have a good day. I know these people over here are like, you cannot stop working with me. That's how I am. You cannot stop working with me. I'm never putting this away. I've officially retired everything else that I was doing. And also, I'm going to take the first payout, buy a bike and hold, and then probably hold payouts for each month just to see how that feels with myself and with see how Tradify see if Tradify even allows that. Just because I would rather see the equity amount build itself up so I can again be extremely aggressive and just accumulate more and allow myself to enter in with one more contracts to just a lot more frequently throughout the market, because this entrance down here should have had an entrance as soon as I saw this inverse head and shoulders get a touch to the neckline. But I was calm, patient, wanted to accept this out of the fair value. Instead, dude, it's an inverse. It touches lows. It gathers support. 0.5. Get the fuck out. Enjoy the support back up to a high resistance. Get out. Enjoy the support, high resistance down to support. Get out. Enjoy the support back up to high resistance. Make it easy for yourself. And yeah. Again, so like, trying to take a tip from me. let's let's go walk around the lake and like just look at the little cakes and be like, let me